Morning Blitz begins now.
Something interesting is going on the field right now. Michigan tried to plant their flag in the middle of the Ohio State field, and the Buckeyes rushed right to them. And now there's some skirmishes going on the field. An unsportsmanlike gesture by the Wolverines. Unnecessary. They've won the game. No need to be disrespectful.
Someone probably just needs to grab that flag, or else this is going to continue to get nasty. Incredibly ugly scene for a beautiful rivalry.
Michigan won the game. They didn't need to plant the flag in the middle of the O.
I mean, that's
disrespectful.
It is, but it's always part of it. Baker Mayfield did it in this stadium, and
that doesn't say it's right.
I get it, and this is a great American rivalry, and it's ugly the way that this has ended.
Damn it! Damn it! Kelly.
Yeah?
I'm trying to think back to when I became a football fan and how I can go back in time and change that so that it never happens.
You know, when you're heading into a game that by all accounts should not be a difficult game to win.
Right.
You're facing a 5-loss team and you cannot pull out a win. It's disgusting. I'm disgusted with it. And I even a couple days later here, I feel like I'm over it, and it's like, whatever, it's football. I don't ever really care that much, honestly. But it's so easy for me to get whipped up again into anger about how we lost that game. It was gross. What was the play calling? It was terrible.
Well,
and you can't see that from the field, from the sidelines. You cannot see that running it up the middle's the wrong play after doing it 100 times and it not working. You don't think maybe we can use one of our freaking amazing receivers? It's gross. It makes me shake with anger, and now I need to get myself calm again.
All right. Okay. All right. It's obviously you do care.
Oh my gosh! I'm so freaking mad about the whole thing. It's disgusting.
I don't think you care a lot about football, but I believe you care a lot about the Buckeyes.
Well, I care about the fact that we blew an opportunity to beat Michigan. It should have been easy.
I know.
This is a 5-loss team.
I know.
They barely made the playoffs. We had our 20-point favorites at home. And you can't score on these guys? You missed 2 field goals? I get it. It was windy. I understand. I just sort of don't understand any of it.
Well, I mean, the reason they beat us, if you want to go into X's and O's, was simply
because Ryan Day cannot beat Michigan. Let's just call it what it is.
Well, I'm talking about getting into the actual game itself and the offensive line that finally caught up with us. It's a revamped line.
Our defense was amazing, right?
Our defense was amazing. Unreal. Lights out. Cannot complain about them a bit. The one strength Michigan had on that team is the defensive line, and it was going against the one biggest weakness we had, which is our offensive line.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that.
You can't make an adjustment to, your game plan is freaking failing, dude. Failing.
I just don't. I'm sure they would love to drop back and throw the ball down the field, but you have to be able to give your quarterback more than 2 seconds to throw to do that, and we were struggling to do that, so they were trying to keep the defense honest by running. They shouldn't have been running up the middle, though. I agree with you. It was 2 yards every single time they did it, but, we can go on and on and on.
Are we going to be finding out that Will Howard absolutely has a concussion?
Oh, now that would be a whole different deal. If they let him back in, because Ryan
I don't
Day
think
was
maybe
asked.
they didn't know it at the time, but I don't know.
Well, they took him in the tent and checked him out, and doctors should be able to figure that out, pretty quick if he's got something going on, and he shouldn't be allowed back in the
Our
game.
news director was there, and he said, I don't know if they showed it on TV, but that play after, that Will Howard was sort of stumbling around, that he did not look stable. That's what our news director said from the media area where he was watching.
From the press box, yeah.
The press box.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I went down there.
I don't know. It's just the whole thing. What a bumbling frickin' mess that was on Saturday.
And Right now, there are Michigan fans listening to us just laughing.
It's fine. You
their
can
ass
laugh.
off
I
all
mean,
the way
it's
to work.
fine. You won the game. I don't take that away from you. I just say, I'm not trying to, I was crap talking Michigan with the best of them on Friday. I had a lot to say. I was really running my mouth.
And it took me this many years to realize I will never, ever go into this game overconfident again. Ever.
That's for sure. I was absolutely overconfident because this was an easy win for us.
Yeah. And I saw a lot of rivalry games over the weekend that were so close, like this one, and some went the way of the winning team, but some got upset.
Did any of them end in pepper spray?
Not that I saw, and that was really ugly.
was
and
wild.
Man, we did not need that.
That was
terrible.
wild.
$100,000 fine to each team.
Yep.
Oh no, they're going to go broke. Yeah, that was pretty pathetic.
I did like, as much as I was angered by the whole game, I did like it during the post-game press conference when Ryan Day was like, look, I mean, our guys did what they felt like they had to do in terms of defending our field and not getting that flag planted and and so I don't know, man.
We are going to hear from Ryan Day a little bit later. I have a very important question for you, Kelly, regarding the Buckeyes.
Okay.
Going forward, and
What
for
is it?
everybody, I will ask you coming up in the 7:00 hour, because I think this is very, because all weekend all I've heard is Ryan Day's got to be fired. Ryan Day's got to be fired. Ryan Day's got to go. Everybody needs fired. But I do want to ask a question in regard to that. Something to think about. So we'll get to that coming up right around 7:35. Man, we have got tickets to see Highly Suspect all week. We've got tickets to see Steel Panther and our final Blitzmas concert series show coming up Saturday night. We've got a huge concert to announce at 9 o'clock, and then we will give away tickets to that show. Right now, Morning Blitz Trivia, $25 up for grabs to waterbeds and stuff. If you're the first one to text in the correct answer at 99700. Comedian Eddie Murphy's son got engaged over the weekend to the daughter of what other comedian? Eddie Murphy's son got engaged to the daughter of what comedian? Be the first one to tell us at 99700. You'll get the gift card. Chevelle on the Morning Blitz, 623. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick, Monday, following along Thanksgiving weekend. Did that go well for you?
Oh, it was great.
Okay.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was outstanding.
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah.
We had a really good time. We did a lot of bonfire. Two bonfires.
Nice.
Yeah, Thursday and Friday. It's excellent.
Yeah, everything was going according as planned.
Yeah.
Great food, got a cowboy victory for, it was rare this year, so that was nice. And then we had the Bad Wolves Pop Evil concert Friday night to kick off Blitzmas, and then the whole weekend got derailed on Saturday afternoon. But
just a little blip.
Yeah. All right, our Morning Blitz trivia question. The son of Eddie Murphy got engaged over the weekend to the daughter of what other comedian? And the answer is Martin Lawrence.
Ah, Shanae.
So the Bad Boys kids are getting married.
Nice.
Man, they got a lot of money. I saw the video thing of that. I was like, oh my gosh, man, these people are just loaded. It's crazy. Eric and Jasmine. So it's Eric Murphy and Jasmine Lawrence. I didn't even know they were dating. They have since July of 2021. So they got engaged this past Wednesday, and Eric, they didn't meet through their dads. They met through Jasmine's uncle. It says Eddie and Martin have done 2 movies together, Boomerang and Life. I thought there was something else, but I can't remember. So
It'd be a fun Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Doesn't Eddie Murphy have like 10 kids? I think 9 maybe.
That sounds right. I think that's, I don't know.
10 children.
10. Eddie's got 10 kids.
Ranging from 34 all the way down to 5.
Oh my gosh. Man, when you have kids up there, how do you start clear down there again? All right. Well, Power family. Yeah, that'll be the next Hollywood power couple right there, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if they're into acting or anything. I don't know anything about Eric and Jasmine. So, but say congratulations going out to Eric Corman from Mount Vernon, because he was the first one to text in the correct answer. So he's got $25 to go over and spend at Waterbeds and Stuff. Again, we've still got tickets to see Highly Suspect. We've got tickets to see Steel Panther. And a huge concert announcement, Kelly, at 9 o'clock. This is a big one. It's a very big concert at a very big place in Ohio, and we'll tell you who that is at 9 and give away tickets at that time as well coming up.
It's the Morning Blitz.
And now it's time for I've Got Something.
Let's see if these dummies have anything worthwhile for us.
6:38 Monday. One thing I do have for you is a cold forecast. We are so below normal, Kelly.
Oh, it's chilly.
They said our highs right now should be the lows. So we're going to get up to 31 today. That should be the low tonight, which will be 19.
At least you're not in Ashtabula.
Oh my gosh, they got hammered.
Hammered. 39 inches of snow, and they're getting another 18 starting today.
Oh my gosh. You probably didn't even see 1 second of that football game last night, I'm sure.
No.
It was fun to watch.
Was it nuts?
Yeah, it was in Buffalo, so that tells you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. But it was fun to watch. People sliding, snow angel celebrations in the end zone, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. But, we're at a nice balmy 21 right now. All right, you want to go first? You want me to go
Sure.
first? Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Go ahead.
Okay. I unfortunately watched the John Benet Ramsey documentary on Netflix. And I will tell you right now, I wish I hadn't watched it, and I am warning you, I highly discourage you from watching this documentary. I guess on one hand, it felt like it was meant to clear the Ramseys of, suspicion. They have been the number one suspects in this child's murder for years and years and years. And I left the documentary feeling like I don't think they did it. I don't think Patsy, John, or Burke did it. What I really, really hated about this documentary, and it makes me sick to think about, is they gave such explicitly gruesome detail about this child's death. Things that I had not heard before. But they spent a large part of the final episode 3, with a man who was arrested for John Benet's murder, but then released because it was determined that his account of what happened did not match the crime scene, and his DNA didn't match. His name was John Mark Carr. He was a famous arrest. He's a pedophile. He was teaching elementary school in Thailand when they arrested him, but he did spend time in Boulder, etc. Mm-hmm. So, or Denver, I think. No, not Denver. Atlanta, where they were from originally. But anyway, they allowed this man so much time because he was speaking with a reporter for several years before he was arrested, and they played this audio of him describing what he did to this child. It was child murder porn. It was so disturbing, I forwarded past the whole thing. So I missed that chunk of the documentary because I want to tell you, it is unconscionable that you would put that out there for public consumption, especially when this guy was determined to not be a legitimate suspect. So basically, it was just pornography involving a child. And that's what you're meant to sit and listen to. It was disgusting thick. I'm telling you.
Damn.
Do yourself a favor. Do not watch this documentary.
Now you're going to get people to go watch it.
Well, go ahead, but don't say I didn't warn you because it will stay in your mind. It won't leave you. And it is the most unsettling, disgusting thing. There is no reason to have that rattling around in your brain.
Oh, man.
Especially when
really bad.
You're basically listening to this man's fantasies about kids. It is awful, and it's a waste of time, and it really angered me. So I guess it's my big warning to you is do yourself a favor and do not watch that.
And so beyond that,
there's no answer, no answers. Nothing.
Well, I mean, it's been this long.
The only thing that I will tell you, and it may have been worth knowing, and I'll tell you now so you don't have to watch the documentary, and that is that there are DNA technology has advanced over the years since John Benet Ramsey's death. They do have some undetermined DNA that they are supposedly going to be testing and retesting and taking some of the other evidence that was never tested for DNA and trying to do a workup on DNA there. So that may be something that comes into play in the future to find the guilty party. But as of now, there are no answers in this case. So like I said, it's basically child murder porn. That's what they're putting out on Netflix.
So she died, was killed, or she went missing.
No, she was murdered.
Yeah, they found that's right.
Yeah.
1996.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were covering news. You were in your career doing news.
Yeah.
So you were covering this thing the whole time it was going on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, who could forget it?
Right. All right. Well.
Anyway, that's my warning to you.
I was going to watch it. Maybe I won't bother.
I wouldn't. I honestly think you don't do yourself a service. Save your brain from the grossness
or
of
just
it.
prepare to fast forward.
You can, but I tell you, you'll be bummed at yourself. It was 3 hours of wasted time. There are no answers, and all you get in there is gross detail that is untrue. It's some man's fantasy about a child.
All right.
That's what you get to consume.
All right.
Okay. Have I
Well,
sufficiently
3 hours, I don't need
talked
that.
you out
I don't
of
need
it?
that. Yeah, I think you have.
All right.
I'm good. I'm not going to learn anything, and doesn't sound like there's anything worthwhile there. Yeah. All right. I can't remember. Were you a fan of roller coasters?
I was until I got to a point where my equilibrium got messed up.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right. I've always loved them. I'll ride them today. I'll ride one. Well, maybe not in the cold, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. I love roller coasters. Yep. This guy in Arizona at a place called Castles and Coasters, this amusement park, he was on this roller coaster, and maybe you have too. I've had this feeling before on a roller coaster. You know, that bar locks.
Yes.
When the bar comes down, it locks.
Yeah.
And you're going up the hill, and all of a sudden that bar's not locked.
Oh, yeah.
You think that?
Or at least it's moving a little too much for comfort.
Well, just imagine it will just come up.
Oh,
You're
that's
going
never
up the
happened
hill.
to me.
It happened to this guy at Castles and Coasters in Arizona, and he realized it going up the hill. You know, that's pulling him up the hill, and all of a sudden his bar comes up. He's freaking out. Dude at the top jumps out onto the platform right before this roller coaster goes down the hill.
Smart man.
I'm like...
If you can do it safely. Smart man. That is so freaky.
Isn't that insane? Here he is talking about it. Why won't that play? There we go.
It was just adrenaline, and I didn't want to die that day. I heard a click noise that was different from the chain taking us up the hill, and I checked my lap bar, and it released. It could have been one of the 11-year-olds. Could have been somebody older, not as agile, right?
That's crazy.
Oh, my gosh.
That's crazy. He cheated death.
Well, if you think about it, especially if it had a loop or something, he's absolutely going to die. So, I mean, you might as well take your chances.
It's crazy, man. I mean, how does that happen? These things are supposed to be inspected all the time. I mean, they're testing these things all the time. Man. Yeah, they've tried to contact Castles and Coasters. Every media outlet out there, you know, from local ones all the way to the national ones, CNN, everybody has tried to contact, and they are not responding to anyone. There's video. You can actually see the video of the dude jumping out at the top.
Oh, I got to see
crazy.
that.
Yeah, you have to go back and watch that. Pantera on the Morning Blitz at 6:51 with Kelly Quinn and Thick Rick. Jeff texted in and said, Thick, man, Friday at the Bluestone was a great time. It's when we kicked off our Blitzmas concert series with Pop Evil and Bad Wolves, and I want to talk about that coming up because something bizarre happened that affected that show.
Oh, really?
And caused some people quite an inconvenience, actually.
Oh.
So we'll talk about that coming up. Roger said at least one thing didn't suck on Saturday, and that was the In This Moment concert, which was our second show in the Blitzmas concert series. Friday night, we'll have Daughtry Sleep Their End of Hour of the Day at Kimba Live. And then Saturday night will be Steel Panther to wrap it up. 4 shows in 8 days. We will have tickets to Steel Panther coming up here in just a few. We'll give those away. Going back to the game real quick, we did get some texts. Nate says, look on the bright side, y'all. The Steelers won. Goose said, the crew welcomes you with open arms. Brian Charles said, go blue, of course. Keith said, fire Ryan Day and Chip Kelly, please, and call Mike Vrabel for F's sakes.
I heard that multiple times.
Yes. Dustin Fight said, I personally love the fight after the game. It's OSU versus Michigan. I'm tired of all the friendly talk. Let's get back to the good old days when Woody Hayes was punching people because we don't give a damn for the whole state of Michigan. Jeez. And Nick says, see, that's why I'm glad I'm not a football fan. I'm just as happy as I was before the game. Doesn't bother me at all. I envy you, Nick. I do, brother. I envy you. Damn. Ugh. All right. Are you liking this cold weather, Kelly?
Yes.
Are you liking
I'm
it?
ready
Really?
for it.
Are you, you know?
Yep, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for giant sweaters, which I'm wearing today. Overeating, which I did over Thanksgiving. I did great on Thanksgiving Day. Like, absolutely, I'm cooking a lot, so I'm not really ever that into the Thanksgiving meal. I'm kind of am. Like, I'll eat.
Right.
But I'm not, I don't know, just being around all that food and prepping it for 2 straight days makes me not as excited to actually eat the meal. I don't know why. I don't know why. Like cooking something and then by the time it's on the table, I'm like, eh. But
I've looked at this enough.
The day after, might I say.
Oh, yeah?
I had pie for breakfast.
There you go.
I had pie for dessert after breakfast. And then I had pie for lunch.
Oh, my gosh.
I kid you not. I had pie 3 times.
Before dinner even
Friday.
happened.
I don't remember what I did for dinner on Friday. I might have skipped it. I had so much pie. I just couldn't stop eating it. I'm like, I'm hungry. Well, there's the pie.
Yeah.
Go for it. And then I had 2 pumpkin pies, and there was like kind of a giant piece left. Like you could have made 2 smaller pieces, but I'm like, why don't I just go ahead and eat that whole thing? I took the pie plate. I took a fork. I sprayed down that thing with whipped cream.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And ate it right out of the pie dish. That is that is what a beast I was on Friday.
Hell yeah.
Did you overeat?
Oh, yes. Oh, and it was glorious.
What was your favorite?
Something I didn't expect was an amazing blueberry pie.
Ooh, a blueberry pie.
So
oh, that sounds good. Did you put anything on it, like ice cream?
Didn't have any ice cream on Thanksgiving, but on Friday I went and got some because I still had half a pie.
Yeah, you got to warm up that blueberry pie.
Yes.
Stick it in so the ice cream sort of starts to melt.
It's glorious. That's absolutely fantastic.
Oh, it's so good.
And there's still some of that blueberry pie left, and there's still some pumpkin roll left.
Okay, if you went home and it was all gone, like it got eaten before you got home, would you be upset or would you be like, oh, thank goodness?
Both of them?
Both.
Yeah,
like,
I'd be upset.
Gone.
Yes, if she ate it all.
So you're looking forward to having some of that later?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
She better not do that to me.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
The Big Ten is fining Ohio State and the University of Michigan over Saturday's post-game brawl. Members of the OSU football team went after some Michigan players as they tried to plant their flag in the Block O at midfield, the Horseshoe, after their upset victory. Each school has to pay $100,000 for violating the conference's sportsmanship policy. An OSU police officer suffered a head injury while trying to separate players and was sent to the hospital. He has since been released. Well, despite saying he would not use his powers to pardon his son, last night President Biden did just that, pardoning Hunter Biden and sparing his son a possible prison sentence for federal felony gun and tax convictions. The president said although he said he wouldn't interfere with the Justice Department's decision, he said it was clear his son was a political target and the convictions were a miscarriage of justice.
I will say if it was my son, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
If I was president. However, the problem is he spent the past 2 years saying over and over again that no one is above the law. Evidently, some people are.
Yeah. Yep. A woman somehow managed to board a Delta Airlines flight from New York to Paris without a boarding pass on Tuesday as Thanksgiving travel was ramping up. How does this happen? The amount of times you have to show your boarding pass before you can get on a flight, and this woman went through TSA and then a couple other checkpoints and then was allowed on the plane. So they figured it out as they were on their way to Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. She was discovered mid-flight, removed by law enforcement after the plane landed in Paris. So she was set to return to the U.S. on Saturday. They loaded her onto a plane at Charles de Gaulle, but then she apparently caused such a huge disturbance before takeoff, they had to remove her from the flight. Now, let me just say this woman is a Russian citizen with an American green card. So she has a green card.
All right.
But a passenger, I guess, told CNN that this woman kept saying, I do not want to go back to the USA. Only a judge can make me go back to the USA. And then she kept yelling that she was protected under the Geneva Conventions, I guess. But it's like, bro, go to Russia. You're a citizen. If you don't want to come to the U.S., go to Russia, man. I mean, we don't want you either, to be quite honest. You're crazy. But anyway, so as far as I know, she is still in Paris and sort of got her way after she threw a fit on the flight. But the plane took off a couple hours late, so I'm sure she screwed up some people's plans in their flight home. But anyway, that happened over the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Those are your 3 things.
Sick puppies on the Morning Blitz, 7:08. Good morning. It's Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick on a Monday. We have got tickets to give away this week. Highly Suspect tickets for the show at the Bluestone. That one coming up Thursday, January 23rd. And then we also have tickets to see Steel Panther, which will wrap up our Blitzmas concert series this Saturday night. Also at the Bluestone. So, and then, by the way, we do have a major concert announcement at 9, and then we'll have those tickets the rest of the week in the whole choice situation as well.
Very nice.
But for this morning, Highly Suspect or Steel Panther, you want to listen this hour for Closer by 9 Inch Nails. When you hear that song, just be caller number 9, 1-800-821-9970. And you can pick which show you want to go to, Highly Suspect or Steel Panther. So that will happen before 8 o'clock. Closer by 9 Inch Nails. That's your cue to call in and be caller 9. And you can pick those tickets. All right. So great news, Kelly.
Yes?
Doctors now say it is absolutely okay to pee in the shower.
Okay, great.
Yes. CNN talked to urologists who said there's really no reason not to. There is no downside, and it's so convenient.
Yes. You're just standing there right there.
And
there's
look,
a drain right there.
Right? Mm-hmm. And it's going right into the same pipe that your toilet's going into.
Yeah. Hey, but do yourself a favor. If your wife takes baths every night, just give that a little scrub. After you're done showering, why don't you give the old tub a scrub for your wife?
Okay.
All right.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Only because our master bathroom, our master bath is just a
shower.
Stand-up shower.
Yeah.
Now, our other bathroom does have a tub shower, but we just don't use it.
Well, yeah. If you have a tub,
I get it,
and you're peeing in the tub area, all right?
Yeah.
Let's just do a solid for your wife.
Just a little wipe down and rinse.
Why not?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the thing in the past was that peeing in the shower wasn't a great idea for women, because it said it doesn't let your pelvic floor muscles relax, so you end up straining, which can weaken those muscles over time. But a urologist in New York said that is not true. All you have to do is relax and let it happen naturally. As long as you don't strain, you're fine.
Okay.
So there is that. So there is one catch there. You should not strain when you're doing it if you're a woman. It also will not damage your pipes, because your shower washes it away so fast. And it won't hurt your skin. There is no risk of infection, because I guess it can if you have like a cut on your leg or something, but it would have to sit there. And because you're in the shower, it's just getting washed off of you and, again, right down the drain, So if you're a woman, feel free. If you're a man, you were doing this already, weren't you? I mean, can we be honest? Can everybody be honest? Can we just do a quick poll here? You can text in at 99700. Just tell us, how long have you been peeing in the shower? Because I've been doing it my whole damn life.
Even as a kid?
Well, yeah. I mean, isn't that when you start?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
I was never told not to.
No?
So, were you?
I don't know that there was an explicit conversation about it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think maybe there was a moment of clarity in my life where I thought, well, hey, why not? But like I said, I'm a bath taker, so...
Oh, yeah, you don't want to do that.
There's some, there's just some, there's probably some splash up as a man.
Right.
Probably doing a little splashing. And as a bath taker, like I said, I would appreciate just a quick wipe down, if you don't mind.
Right.
But if you don't do it, how am I going to know? So, whatever.
I don't know. Guys do like to pick the target and...
Yeah, just go right in the drain.
Hit that target.
You don't think there's any splash up?
Oh, I'm sure there are. Okay. I'm just saying, we try. Guys like to try that. They like to aim and hit a target. So, yeah. And how many years have you been doing it? And maybe you've never done it. Maybe you're afraid to do it. You can tell us that too. We want to know. It's the Morning Blitz with Rage Against the Machine at 7:24. Kelly Quinn, Dick Rick. Happy Monday. Hope you had a nice, long, good vacation. Well, I guess it's a mini vacation for some. Yeah.
4 days is 4 days. That was
nice.
great.
Yes. Not hearing an alarm clock 4 straight days in a row was awesome. All right, so we were talking about this deal here where doctors have come out and said it is absolutely okay to pee in the shower. It used to be thought that it wasn't a great idea for women due to how it affected their muscles from doing it standing up. But doctors say you just got to relax and do it naturally, and it's fine. And, of course, guys have been doing it, and it doesn't hurt your pipes. It's going into the same exact pipe that your toilet's going into, so it's all fine. And I asked, just tell us. Let's take a little poll here from Blitz Nation and tell us how long you've been doing it, or if you were told not to do it, or things like that. Because I can't remember. I feel like I've been doing it ever since I first took a shower, and was never told otherwise. So Blitz Nation coming in here and not disappointing as usual. I come here to work just so I can be entertained by you guys texting in, because this is fantastic.
I will say we have not heard from a single female.
Oh, we have not, have we? Oh, man.
So that's interesting. And 100% of the men pee in the shower.
All of them. Heath said, by the way, Rick, thanks for being at the Bluestone Friday night. Hope you had a blast as I did, and I have been peeing in the shower forever. So there you go.
Gerald does say he has, but he tries not to because he also sits in the tub sometimes.
Dude, don't you know that's a sign of a psychopath, people who sit down in the shower? Or are you talking about to take a bath? I guess that's what he's talking about, to take a bath. I hope that's what he meant. Yeah, and he also said that's like saying why not poop and just let it wash down. I'm good on that. Well, no, it's not the same. That's pee is liquid.
Yeah. No, it's not the same.
We had, what did people call that? They brought that up before.
Okay, gross. Yeah.
I can't remember what they call it.
I do. I'm not going to say it.
Oh, why?
Keith says, I think the shower makes me have to pee because it's just the warm water and the sound of the sound of the shower. Right. I agree. It kind of brings on that feeling when you step into that warm, flowing water.
Oh, yeah, he says he does it right before he gets in the shower, and then 5 minutes into the shower, he has to do it again.
That's what this person texted in. Thanks to age, I pee as I get in, I pee while I'm showering, and one more time before I get
out. Mike said, guilty of peeing in the shower. Yep, my whole life, and when I get home, I'll pee in the shower again. All right. Roger says, been peeing in the shower since I can remember, and I'm 46 years old. Sean Higginbotham, all my life. Fred, all my life. Wife got upset when she saw me doing it. No worries, LOL.
We heard from our first female, Corey. Female here, and yes. Oh, and then she said, shh. I guess I wasn't supposed to say your name. Sorry.
Oh, no. We didn't say the last name. Alyssa said, I've had zero desire to pee in the shower. Never have done it. Stacy said, I've peed in the shower. Another one here, female here. I've peed in the shower for at least 20 years. All right.
There we go.
Wife told me, let's see, Mike says, wife told me I could pee in the shower, just not allowed to waffle stomp. That's what it was.
Let's see. Mac from Zanesville. Mac from Zanesville says they say not to do it because there's a trap on the bottom of the shower and not... Okay, I don't know what that means. A trap. It's trapping your pee? Is that what you're saying?
It's you know how the pipe goes down and curls up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the trap.
Yeah.
So is it sitting in there? Is that what you're saying? But the shower just keeps running, so the water's pushing it through. And
I don't believe that.
It won't hurt your...
Come on, Mac.
It won't hurt your pipes.
Mac, are you telling us that you don't do it? That's what I want to know.
Oh, well. I don't know. I mean, is there like a plumber who can tell us, will that hurt anything? Because, I mean, this story from CNN says it won't. But
the doctor says it won't hurt you. But we're talking about plumbers.
Right. Well, no, but the story said it won't hurt your pipes. So I don't know. I'm just reading what the story from CNN said. But thank you all for all your fantastic responses. Nine Inch Nails on the Morning Blitz at 7:41 with Kelly Quinn and Thick Rick. Congrats going out to Kevin Bond from Delaware. He was caller number 9 when he heard Closer there, and he got to pick tickets, and he took the Highly Suspect show Thursday, January 23rd at the Bluestone. And that means we still have tickets to see Steel Panther at the Bluestone coming up this Saturday night to wrap up the Blitzmas concert series, which is, of course, presented by Buckeye City Motorsports and powered by Chimney King of Columbus and Lions Den. And then also, if you had not heard, 9 o'clock, huge concert announcement, huge arena. It's a big one, Kelly.
Yep.
We'll give away tickets to that.
Looking forward to it.
That'll be at 9, so. All right. So let's talk about this damn football game that happened on Saturday, because I have a question I want to ask everybody, but let's revisit the ugly ending, shall we?
Something interesting is going on the field right now. Michigan tried to plant their flag in the middle of the Ohio State field, and the Buckeyes rushed right to them. And now there's some skirmishes going on the field. An unsportsmanlike gesture by the Wolverines. Unnecessary. They've won the game. No need to be disrespectful.
Someone probably just needs to grab that flag, or else this is going to continue to get nasty. Incredibly ugly scene for a beautiful rivalry.
Michigan won the game. They didn't need to plant the flag in the middle of the O.
I mean, that's
disrespectful.
It is, but it's always part of it. Baker Mayfield did it in this stadium, and
that just doesn't say it's right.
I get it, and this is a great American rivalry, and it's ugly the way that this has ended.
I don't think I ever heard that game referred to as a beautiful rivalry. It's a beautiful rivalry.
It's beautiful if we're winning, I'll tell you that much.
Yes, it is. And I also didn't understand that. He goes, this is the way it's always been. Baker Mayfield did it, and who else? Name one other one. Ever. None. You can't. This is not the way it's always been, where the team was trying to plant their flag. I mean, Baker's the only person I ever know that tried to do that before. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know where you got that from. But anyway. And Kelly, you mentioned you liked what Ryan Day had to say about it after the game, and here is that comment.
These guys, are looking to, put a flag on our field, and our guys weren't going to let that happen. So, I'll find out exactly what happened. But, this is our field, and certainly, we're embarrassed with the fact that we lost the game, but, there's some prideful guys on this team that weren't just going to let that happen. There was a couple things kind of crazy that went on down there, but I think everybody's okay. Again, without knowing all the details, there's some prideful guys on our team that, aren't just going to sit back and watch that happen.
He didn't say it was right. He just said there were just guys that weren't going to allow it.
Yeah. That's right.
And it was an ugly ending to an ugly game.
Pepper spray everywhere.
And I guess there were some fans got involved. There were some fans on the field, I read. Said players, coaches, security, police, and fans.
Yeah, fans always jump the wall and get on the field. Usually during a victory.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
I guess they're wanting to get involved in the fighting.
Man, that was rough to see that. And
it was rough. Okay, now can I just maybe this is wrong?
No, go ahead. It's fine.
I was so. I guess I hesitate to say it because it is wrong. I didn't mind the fighting.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
We had a lot of texts say that this morning.
I'm like, number one, we shouldn't have lost that game.
Right.
Number two, you're not planting your flag on our field.
You didn't mind defending our field.
I don't mind defending the field.
Yeah, I get it.
And tensions were high, and people started throwing punches.
Yeah. Oh, man, there was some body slamming going on, and, some people got bloodied up.
I don't know.
What blew me away is that, it broke out and it was going on and police got involved and we're separating the teams and everything, and I thought it was over. And here comes this idiot Michigan fan bringing the flag right back into the middle of it again. And then, of course, a Buckeye player grabbed it out of his hands and the whole thing started up again. I didn't think it was ever going to end. So,
well, the pepper spray did end it, right?
Pepper spray did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the Michigan fans. I'm like, why are they crying? They got and then I realized.
Yeah, somebody puked,
they got pepper spray.
And then just pepper spray just being in the air will impact you pretty bad. So that was it.
Yeah.
And
I've been an innocent victim caught in the air of pepper spray before.
I have too,
yeah,
and
it hurts.
hurts.
Yeah, it's not fun. Regarding the game itself, here's what Ryan Day had to say.
There's not much nothing you can say at this point. You got to take the ownership of it, and that's hard. And ultimately, it starts with me. And there's no words right now that can, address any of that because of what they put into the program. And, these are great guys who, give unbelievable effort. And ultimately we just didn't execute well enough in this game. And again, it starts with me and goes from there.
So he takes ownership of it. And it's all I saw all weekend. Seen a lot of texts already this morning. Fire Ryan Day, fire Chip Kelly. The one thing I hadn't understood this season, Chip Kelly, I don't know how familiar you are with him, Kelly.
Yeah, I'm familiar with him.
But he has always run this very fast-paced, wide-open offense. And then he came here, and I thought, man, we're going to run that kind of offense. This is going to be exciting. But no, he completely changed how he did things, and it was just, I don't know. Why would you bring him in to do it? And I don't know if it's his fault. I mean, there's probably blame to go around in a lot of places. I think that our offensive line being in shambles just finally caught up with us. I mean, you lose guys like, 2 tackles, your all-world center, and then you're moving guard to tackle and another guard to center, and now you've got this makeshift line, and you've lost all the continuity they've built from August up to this point, and then we run into this, one strength that Michigan has, their defensive line, and going up against our biggest weakness, our offensive line, and, well, we saw the result. But you would still think we know we're such a better team than them this year. Yeah. This year, we know that. We've watched them play. We've beat the hell out of teams that beat them, and it's just, I don't know what it is about this damn game.
Posted on CBS Sports right after the game, sometime on Saturday. This person wrote on CBS Sports, instead of doing what it took to win the football game, Ryan Day chose to try and make a point instead. He wanted to show the world how tough his football team is. He wanted to show that after his team lost a fist fight each of the last 3 years, they would win it this time. Only they couldn't, and it was evident early that would be the case. Yet, I guess you could say it was Chip Kelly making the calls. Who knows? But they kept running it straight up the middle. It was a complete failure of a game plan.
Over and over and over. Now, Chip Kelly does call the plays, but Ryan Day has the power to call up and say, hey, Chip, we need to throw the ball.
Right.
This isn't working.
Right.
You're going to have a meeting at halftime. You could say that.
Mm-hmm.
We knew it, but it was like we were bound and determined we were going to run that ball.
Man, that drive at the end of the second quarter, right before halftime, was great.
Yeah.
We
all passes.
Yeah.
Right down the field.
What
bam,
are we
bam,
doing?
Bam.
And then we came back in the third. I just don't understand.
I was like, where's the quick passes? Where's the RPOs? I'm like, what are we doing?
Absolutely confounding.
But here's my question. This is what I want to know. Would you, this is a would you rather, you have to pick one. Would you rather beat Michigan, or you can't have both? You're going to lose one or the other. Would you rather beat Michigan or win the national championship?
I'd rather beat Michigan.
Really?
100%.
Really?
I could care less about the national championship this year.
Really?
Honestly.
Well,
I'm telling
those
you,
players sure will care.
I am telling you. Asked me my opinion.
You're right.
Okay?
You're right. I'm sorry.
This is my opinion.
Gotcha.
It's
You're
my
right.
feeling.
Yep.
It is complete feelings. It might not be based in any type of fact, but I would rather have won that Michigan game Saturday than go on and win a national championship. I do not care about watching Ohio State anymore this season. I don't care. I don't care about the playoffs, and I don't care about the national championship game. Now, my feelings may change over the course of the next few weeks. They may. I may get into it again or whatever. But I'm so salty about this loss. To me, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't. And that's why I thought, if you're going to fire Ryan Day, it's fine if you do it now. It's fine. And I know you're not going to blow up the whole program now. You want to see it through to the national championship. But if they would have announced Sunday that Ryan Day was fired, I would have thought, well... And I'm not an anti Ryan Day guy. I'm not. I've never thought, they should fire him after 1, 2, 3 losses. But Saturday's loss was it was terrible.
It was.
I don't want to say disgusting.
It was.
This is not the right word. But it was awful. It should never have happened. It was a complete embarrassment to the program, and somebody's got to be held accountable for it.
Yeah.
So to me, this year, you're asking me the question, I would way rather have won that Michigan game and lost the national championship.
Wow. Okay. See, because, in the past, before we had any kind of playoff, even though with the one-game deal there, it was always just you played your schedule and you went to a bowl game, and then the media would vote on who was the national champion. They even called it was a mythical national championship. now that we have playoffs and everything, it's like everybody talked about going into the season. Teams with 2 losses, maybe even possibly a team with 3 losses will get into the playoffs and have a chance to play for the national championship. So things are so much different now. Whereas, this is the regular season and not everybody goes undefeated, and the goal now is to make the playoffs. So I understand they're our rival and everything, and we want to beat them so bad, and I hate Michigan, and I'm just like you when it comes to that, Kelly. But if we were to win the national championship, there's no way they fire Ryan Day. You can't.
I think that's the only way they're not firing him.
That's what I believe.
That's
I believe
it.
that.
If he wins the national championship, he saves his job. If not, that's it.
All right, I just want to know what you guys, quick poll, 99,700, let us know.
We got to watch Penn State play in the Big Ten championship game.
Right.
I mean, come on.
I know.
It's an embarrassment.
Would you rather beat Michigan or would you rather win the national championship? Can't have both. 3 Days Grace on the Morning Blitz, 7:55 with Kelly Quinn and Thick Rick. And we asked the question, if you had to pick, you can't have both. Would you rather beat Michigan or win the national championship? Because, I used to hear people say, I don't care if we lose every game on the schedule as long as we beat Michigan. So you're fine going 1-11. And I'm like, yeah, that's not good enough for me.
I think people are just trying to show the passion that comes with that Michigan game.
Right.
I don't know that that's a literal thing.
Well,
but most people agree they want to beat Michigan. Some say they want to win the national championship. I would say 80% are saying here that they want to win that Michigan game.
Yeah, Mike says we could have a losing season. I wouldn't care as long as we beat Michigan, and I refuse to watch any more games until Ryan is fired.
Jamie says beat Michigan, 100%. Rick says that team up north proved last year that you can cheat and do both. I've been a diehard Ohio State fan forever, so beat Michigan.
Go ahead.
Brian says, I hope they win the national championship so Ryan Day gets to stay. All of us Michigan fans are big fans of Ryan Day.
Yeah, we used to say that too when Jim Harbaugh was up there. We didn't want him fired, and then all of a sudden things changed. Jeff said, food for thought, do you think sports betting has anything to do with the outcome? No, not as far as who wins and loses. As I said to Jeff, because the Buckeyes were favored by 23. If Ohio State had won by 15, the payout would have been the same, as Michigan winning the game. So Buckeyes could have won by 20, and the same people would have still won who took Michigan and the points. So Caleb said, I'd rather win the Natty. Michigan can have the game, but to say you're on top of the college football world is better.
Andrew says, I'm with Kelly. Beat Michigan hands down. Nothing's more important. Let's see.
I would have agreed with you 20 years ago, but now that we're in this world of playoffs, man, I don't know if that's more important. I understand. Believe me, I get it. I've been a Buckeye fan my whole life. I've hated Michigan my whole life.
Randy says, beat Michigan. Bowls have been a joke with so many sitting out for the draft. Bobby says, I'd rather beat the dog crap out of Michigan and lose the Natty.
Wow. All right.
Tom says, beat the team up north. Mike says, I'd rather forfeit every game than lose to the state up north. Jacob, I'd rather beat Michigan because even if we win the Natty this year, they'll be able to say, oh, we beat the national championship, so we're better than them, even though they've barely made the playoffs.
They're not going to the playoffs. They're lucky to be going to a bowl game. Somebody said the fact that this is even a question, the exact reason Ryan Day cannot overcome the Michigan hurdle. It's a mental game. OSU and their fans put way more emphasis on this game than they should. Ultimate goal is a national championship. There's no other right answer. Well, that's not a Buckeye fan. So
Natasha says, I'd rather beat Michigan. Mary says, beat Michigan. Rob says, my 13-year-old son and I completely agree with Kelly. You can ask us any day, anytime, anywhere. Beat Michigan every single bleeping time.
All right. So that's it. I mean, that's your season. One game is your entire season every year. Then
that's right. You ask people their opinions, and that's what their opinions are.
I got you.
And now, three things you need to know before you go.
In the aftermath of Ohio State's upset loss to Michigan, Athletic Director Ross Bjork says Coach Ryan Day has his full support. In an interview with the Dispatch, Bjork said, quote, our full focus right now is on the college football playoff and making a strong run. We have a ton to play for. We have a great team made up of talented players and great young men. Coach Day does a great job leading our program. He is our coach. Bjork said there's going to be plenty of time to dissect what happened in Saturday's game, but right now we have to keep the main thing the main thing. Saturday's 13-10 defeat was OSU's fourth straight loss to Michigan under Day in that rivalry. Now, let's not forget, Bjork was the AD at Texas A&M last year. He fired Jimbo Fisher, and he had to make a $75 million payout to Jimbo Fisher. That's about half of what he'd have to pay Ryan Day if he fired Ryan. Well, Ryan Day's about $37 million.
Oh, is that right?
$37 million payout if he was fired yesterday, today. Jimbo Fisher was paid $75 million payout when he was fired from Texas A&M.
Jeez.
And under the same AD. So we know the guy's not afraid to make a big move.
Right. Even if it's expensive.
Even if it's expensive. So it's not the right move yet, apparently. And like we were just saying, I think if Ryan Day wins the national championship, we won't lose him as coach.
You can't fire him.
And listen, the guy's a person, right? So I don't want to talk about him like he's not a human being and probably feels worse than any of us about that loss on Saturday. Like he's probably really suffering over that.
I'm sure.
You know, it's his full focus and job. And it was, I'm sure it's been a difficult few days here for him. Sean Diddy Combs is facing yet another lawsuit. A woman named Brianna Bongolin filed the paperwork in L.A. Suing Combs for sexual battery, false imprisonment, and other abuses. Listen to this. This lawsuit claims that in 2016, Diddy held her over the edge of a 17-story balcony when she tried to resist his advances. This guy's a psychopath.
Yeah.
She says he threw her into patio furniture before assaulting her. She's seeking $10 million in damages. Of course, Combs' legal team has released a statement saying, it's not true. Never happened. By the way, he was denied bail again. It's his fourth time being denied bail. So that makes me laugh.
Ryan Day's still having a better year than Diddy.
Yeah, I suppose so. Most everybody is, I'd say. Black Friday was a virtual venture for U.S. shoppers. Most people doing Black Friday shopping online. Gone are the days of giant crowds, apparently.
Yeah.
I did not see a single video posted of an enormous crowd. In fact, I saw the opposite of people on TikTok making fun of Black Friday crowds, basically being the only one at a Target display and pretending to fight over items with zero people there. So that's more of what I saw online. I don't know if any of you listening were out on Black Friday. You can let us know if there were any crowds to speak of, but most people were buying online for Black Friday. Spent about $10.8 billion online. We did. That is up 10% from last year. Meanwhile, today is Cyber Monday. Is expected to do even more. It's supposed to be about a $13 billion day online today. So that will hang on to bragging rights as being the year's biggest online shopping day. So let's get started, folks. Fire up those computers. Let's get to buying. Those are your three things.
I'm going to have to take a look here and see what kind of deals we got. They always have those lightning deals on Cyber Monday.
I saw a gal at Target, not to call out Target twice here, but Target, there was some kind of a warming mug or something. I don't know. It was supposedly on sale for $119, marked down from $130 some or something like that.
All right.
Well, she had posted it the week before. She had purchased this very item from Target the week before for like $90 some. So they jacked the price way up and then acted like they were discounting it. So your discount was still more than what she paid a week before at the same store.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
That's how they do it. Yeah, so we're not fools anymore, are we? We're not fooled by Black Friday deals.
See, here's the thing. You're online shopping and you see something, you can immediately research it because you're sitting at a computer.
Yeah.
So you can find out real quick if you're getting a deal or not.
That's right.
Blur on the Morning Blitz, 8:11 with Kelly and Thick. Shout out to everybody who came out to Blitzmas over the weekend. We had the In This Moment show Saturday night at Kimba. Friday night kicked it off with Pop Evil and Bad Wolves over at the Bluestone. Sam, Shannon, John, Charlie, Jeff, some of the people I met. They sent their love. Kelly said to tell you hello.
Oh,
Missed you.
nice.
Wish they could have seen you. But it was a good time. The only problem was the whole thing was delayed by an hour. So the doors were supposed to open at 6,
Okay.
and Ticketmaster sent out an alert to people who had tickets for the show that said it had been delayed an hour and the doors would not open till 7. And I found that out just minutes before I was about to head out there. And, I'm thinking about the people who were at the door at 6. It was colder than hell out.
Yeah.
And I had Facebook messages from people going, hey, man, would you tell them to let us in? We're freezing out here. And I'm like, I couldn't get in. I had nothing to do with it. We didn't have anything to do with it. We still don't even know why the delay happened. But so, yeah, every show got pushed back an hour and, each artist, and so
They didn't say why?
I still have no idea why it happened. Nope. No clue. But it was still a great time. Once we got in there, got it going. Everybody was awesome. Bands were great. Good time. And we will have another one Friday night with Daughtry, Sleep Theory, and Devour the Day. And, of course, wrap it up Saturday night with these guys who are such a blast, Steel Panther at the Bluestone. And that will finish the Blitzmas concert series, presented by Buckeye City Motorsports and powered by Chimney King of Columbus and Lions Den. If you would like a pair of tickets to see Steel Panther, just give us a call right now. Caller 9, 1-800-821-9970. We'll hook you up. Holly Suspect on the Morning Blitz at 8:24 with Kelly Quinn and Thick Rick. Gave away tickets to see them earlier. We will have more coming up tomorrow. It is Cyber Monday. Kelly was just talking about it. We're expected to spend about $13 billion today. And it does seem to be bigger than Black Friday, especially in the in-person stuff, as you talked about. A lot less people going in person now on Black Friday.
Yeah, it's mostly like Black Friday is also Cyber Friday. We're doing Cyber Friday and Cyber Monday now, for the most part.
Yeah. There are, different organizations who can't seem to agree on which one is more popular. The National Retail Federation says Black Friday is still number one. But here's the thing. It depends on how you look at it. There are actually more people shopping on Black Friday, but we're spending more money on Cyber Monday. Seems to be what the deal is. So as far as I'm concerned, we're spending the most money on Cyber Monday, so that means it's bigger, right? And that's up 6% from last year, the $13 billion we're doing this year. But Black Friday shopping was also up 10% from last year, up to $10.8 billion. So we're spending a lot of money between Friday and today, that's for sure. But, I jump online and I'm like, okay, so what are these great deals? And I'm like, I go to Amazon and they got their top deals, like right at the top of the front page. The first two things on the list, one is a dustbuster for $40.
Okay.
Okay, have you ever used a dustbuster?
A long time ago,
Not
I
very,
liked it, but
really,
yeah.
I never thought they were very powerful.
They're
Didn't do
all right.
a very good job.
Little crumbs here and there.
Yeah, okay.
But they're not super great. I agree with you.
And
Just get out your vacuum attachments.
Is anybody asking for a dustbuster?
No, nobody.
Don't buy that for somebody. If you're like, oh, let me get them a dustbuster. They don't want it. They're going to send it back.
But it's inexpensive.
Yeah, right. Same price now for Ancestry.com.
Okay, now I don't hate that idea.
So, if that's something you wanted to do, you're going from $120 to $40.
I feel like I want to do Ancestry.com, but then it also sounds like a lot of work. So I'm very sure that I would never do it.
You got to send them your blood.
No, you can track your ancestry without sending your blood.
Don't you have to do something?
Ancestry.com. No, you can just do your family tree and find it more. Yeah, you don't have to send blood for that.
All right. Why does it say
sure
Ancestry
you can.
DNA?
Oh, Ancestry DNA. I thought you said Ancestry.com.
Oh, isn't that where it's from?
I don't know, man. I'm just saying that there is Ancestry. You don't have to send your blood to get your ancestors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can fill out a family tree, your genealogy and all that, and then sort of fill in the blanks.
Oh.
Yeah, with different information.
Right.
And you can do the DNA, and I'm sure that helps solve crimes.
Well, yeah, what if you were adopted or something and you want to find out? Now, I did see this, and I know it's not OLED, but it is a 4K ultra high def television. It is LED Smart Google TV. For $998, Kelly, it's 85 inches.
Ooh.
This is an 85-inch Sony 4K Ultra High Def Smart Google TV for $998. Now that to me, that's worth it to me. I think that's a good deal.
Okay.
I know it is not like the super highest end television, but it's 85 inches. I'm imagining playing in college football 2025 on this thing. That would be fantastic. So that was one thing I did see that I went, okay, yeah, that looks like a deal to me. And they do have Fire TV sticks for $18. That's a good deal. But outside of that, I'm just looking at a lot of junk that nobody wants. I see there are tons of headphones. You see all these different headphones, and that includes the Beats. And get these they're only $300, down from $450. I wouldn't give you $30. I can't stand those Beats headphones. I think they sound like crap. You and I have been using headphones our entire careers, and I will stick with these Sonys that are like $80 for the rest of my life because they're the best sounding thing I ever heard.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
I don't understand all these with the kind of money that people are spending on headphones.
I guess I am never shopping based on a deal. I already know basically what I want, and I'll try to find the best deal for that item. But rarely has a great deal made me decide that I need something I wasn't already planning on buying.
Right. Exactly.
But that TV sounds pretty good.
I know, man. I want that for myself.
85 inches?
85 inches.
Dang.
Yes.
That would swallow up a room, but man, it would be really nice.
Well, and this is funny, too. I'm looking here. It says up to 35% off fan favorites. The picture is a Michigan hat. Seriously, that's it. Right there on the front page. If you go to Amazon.com, on the front page is a Michigan hat, and it says 35% off. That tells you everything you need to know. Bush on the Morning Blitz, 8:39. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick. We were just talking about Cyber Monday, and we were looking at deals and stuff, and Amazon owes me a commission. I don't want to say his name because his wife might be listening, but I got a text that says, just grab the Ancestry.com for $40. Wife will love it.
Hey, see, I like that idea. I think it's fun.
I put that TV in my cart.
Did
I don't know.
Do you visit it like I visit my my Best Buy cart every few months?
Yeah.
I visit my items in my cart.
Well, I don't think I'll be able to do that because, that deal won't be there after today. I don't think. Man, 85-inch television.
Do you have somewhere you put it? Are you picturing it right now?
Oh, yeah. It's going where the current TV is, where we watch television. In the main room, for sure. By the way, it's saliva, not blood, for your DNA.
Yeah.
Saliva. Yeah, you could just use your spit. So, but my wife texted in and said, we do, capital, not need any more friggin' TVs. And I said, but it's 85 inches. She says, always about the inches. We have enough. Yeah. But we don't have enough 85-inch. It's 85 inches. Come on.
There is a point where a TV can be too big for a room.
Nope.
There is. I mean, I sort of agree with Heather. Like, there could be, I don't know. Am I wrong?
For a room, yes, you can have. If it goes from the ceiling to the floor, yeah, it's not going to look right. Unless it's a man cave,
where it's even you can't get far enough back to have a good picture. Like with
you might be right. Yeah,
I don't know,
but I don't think the 85 inch is too big.
No,
because mine's a 65. So I go from the corner out 20 inches, and it's still got a perfect fit. I don't have to move anything on the walls, nothing. It'll fit perfectly right where the one is now. I
sort of feel that way with where our current TV is, and we're at 65 inches right now, too. I kind of feel like we could do 85.
Yes, do it. Do it with me, Kelly. Let's buy it together. All right, let me tell you what happened on Saturday. I asked you if you've ever been in the midst of a serious police situation where guns were drawn.
Yes.
You said no, you have not?
I said I kind of. Uh-huh. There's a version of a story about like that, but I want to hear yours.
Okay.
Yours sounds very, very juicy.
I was only scared for a split second. So what happened was after the game ended, I needed a haircut, and I thought, who the heck would go get their haircut after that game? I bet I could get right in, wouldn't have to wait, no problem.
What do you do, like a Supercuts or something?
It's holiday
Sports
hair.
clips?
It used to be Saturdays.
Okay,
now it's holiday hair.
So it's like a walk-in.
Yeah, but
stitch.
same girl has been cutting my hair there for years. And so I was going to go. Heather says to me, do you have the Citizen app?
Yeah.
Okay. She doesn't have the one you pay for.
Just a free version.
Okay. Maybe we need the pay version because we didn't get good details. But it just said that on our street there was a report of somebody with a gun trying to break into a home.
Oh.
And we're like, what?
What?
So I'm like, we're looking out the windows to see if there's anything in view of us. Couldn't see anything. And then, and I said, well, I want to go get my hair cut, and I don't know whether to go out. But like I said, we're looking out the windows. And so I walk out, and I'm peeking around, and I don't see anything. And I go back in the house. I'm like, well, I don't see anything. I'm going to go ahead and go. And she says, okay. And I said, I'll lock the garage. I said, but I'm a little worried if somebody out here might try to run into somebody's house if they're running for the cops or something. She goes, I'll be fine. Go ahead. So then I walk back outside. My garage door is open the whole time, by the way. I step out my garage. I look down to the left. There are 3 cop cars on the street. Their lights are on. The cop cars are parked. And then I hear the words, is there anybody else in the house? Which is coming from, I look across the street. They've got the guy who lives there. This is probably 3-4 houses down from me across the street. The guy who lives there, I don't really know him. He's kind of an odd dude, but he mows people's lawns and does yard work for
people.
Is he
the one with the middle finger flag? In the
No. That's on another street.
All right, gotcha.
And they had brought him out of the house, and they said, is anybody else in the house? He says, just the dog. Well, there are 2 police officers with rifles on the door yelling, anybody inside, open the door. Anybody inside? Nothing happens. We're coming in. One guy's opening the door while the other guy's pointing in, and he's looking around. They got flashlights on their rifles so they can go in the dark. And I'm like, I run back inside. I'm like, I don't want to be in the crossfire of anything. I have no idea what's going on. And so I don't hear any gunshots. I'm still in the garage, but I'm not in view of anything. I wouldn't get hit by any flying bullets. And so then I don't hear anything. I peek back around the corner, and it's just the guy that lives there standing outside with one officer. The other 2 have gone inside. That was the extent of the threatening part of it, I guess, if whatever you want to call it. But nothing like that ever happened in our neighborhood before.
Did they bring anyone out of the house?
Well, they were in there for so long. I said, well, so everything seems fine. I'm going to go ahead and go.
Thick needs a haircut.
I want my haircut. By the way, I got over there, and the girl who cuts my hair, Dina, she was in there, and nobody was in there. I said, I didn't figure anybody would be coming in here to get their haircut after that game. She says, you're the first customer I've had since noon. Uh-huh. This was almost 5 o'clock, so I got my haircut.
Okay, can you go back to your neighborhood,
yes.
Sitch? Will you please go talk to your neighbor? Ask him what happened.
He's really odd.
So?
He was left there. They did arrest somebody. I don't know where that person came from, but they arrested somebody. I don't know if they were in his house or not.
How's the dog?
The dog barks a lot, but he's okay.
All right.
But he's always barked a lot. So I don't know. And we can't get any more information. We've looked it up online, can't find anything about it. We just know the Citizen app said that somebody was arrested, and like I said, maybe we need the pay version of the Citizen app.
Or you could walk across the street and talk to your neighbor.
Yeah, man, that's, I
mean, don't you think another neighbor knows? Can't you talk to somebody?
Yes.
Maybe you don't have to go right to the source, but get the goss, the hot goss.
I told you my brother-in-law lives right across from us. He is the next door neighbor of this guy.
Right.
So I asked my brother-in-law. Say, hey, go find out what happened.
Or why don't you both go over, make a new friend? That guy's got some action at his house. That sounds like a friend to have. Somebody who's always in the middle of something.
It's just weird, though, to walk out of your house and you see your neighbor's got guns drawn on his home.
Yeah, that's freaky.
Police are going in. Like guns with flashlights attached to rifles. I'm like, what is up, man?
I can't believe you had enough self-control to go into your garage and not watch the rest of it.
Yeah, I live in that deep Hilliard hood, Kelly. I'm telling you. I live in the ugly part of Hilliard. No, it's not really an ugly part of Hilliard, I don't think.
Well,
so I'm just curious, what's like the most crazy police situation you've ever been stuck in the middle of? I just wonder, what kind of stuff people have been, that you had nothing to do with necessarily.
Yeah.
That you just, all of a sudden, it was going on around you and you're like, what the hell? Alice and Shane's on the Morning Blitz, 8:51. That's Kelly Quinn. I'm Thick Rick. And by the way, everybody with their 85-inch TVs who already have them are loving them.
They
and
love
telling
it.
me,
All right.
Get it. I will love it. They said it's fantastic.
Nobody's saying it's too big for their room.
Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
all right.
Nope. Did have one person warn me, says, ever read Fahrenheit 451? Have you ever read that, Kelly?
No.
Something about, I know it's all about like people burning books because they're afraid of books and ideas and stuff. And he said it also, the Fahrenheit 451, also forewarned of wall size and interactive TVs. Just saying.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. But anyway, I was talking about what happened to me Saturday when I came out, and a neighbor 4 doors down and across the street had police out front with rifles drawn on their door coming in, saying they were coming in, and never did find out what happened, but it was a weird situation. And I asked people, what's a strange situation with the police? Like, what's the craziest thing where you weren't involved? It wasn't about you, but you were all of a sudden surrounded by some, crazy deal going on with the police. And Peggy said, I used to clean office buildings late at night in Upper Arlington and Dublin and Worthington, and I drove a crappy car, and so many times we would be sitting in between buildings taking a break, and the police would pull up on us and pull guns on us. One time I actually got pulled over, a gun pointed at us because there had been a robbery in the area, and I dealt with that for 8 years.
Ooh.
Getting gun pulled on you.
Dang.
Man.
Lori says, back when I was 17, living in California, my boyfriend and I were walking home from the movies when 4 cop cars came up on us and drew guns on them. They were searched, put in separate cars. Turns out there was a robbery nearby, and her boyfriend fit the description of the robber.
Man.
Luckily, there was a witness who told the cops that the boyfriend was not the guy.
That is one thing never's happened in my life. I've never had a gun pointed at me by a police officer or anybody for any reason. I can't. That's just crazy. You haven't had that ever happen.
I had a knife pulled on me.
I knew
have
that.
not had a gun pulled on
that.
me.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I do remember that.
My story, really quickly, is sort of an adjacent sort of police situation. Is that it was back in June of 2008. Charlie and I were living in Westerville in Amherst, the Amherst neighborhood, and there was a jackknife cattle trailer, and a couple of cows got out. And one of them ran up into our neighborhood. It was night.
No.
The entire neighborhood was out watching. This cow was just running around the streets. And it's just our tiny little neighborhood. It was like the biggest thing that had ever happened. So, of course, like police, deputies, ODNR, a bunch of authorities came out. And they did pull a tranq gun and tranquilize the cow. But this thing was enormous, and we were like, people were just following it around. It was lumbering from street to street. So that was kind of a fun thing.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Matt says, I watched that firefighter in Columbus that was busted, and I believe it was a child porn ring, had detectives and police crash down on him at the Bob Evans in Hilliard before COVID started.
Whoa.
That's the one I go to for Bob Evans. Says, I was working there, so I had a front row seat and sent my pictures to the reporters. It was exactly like you see in the movies. The police on every corner came out, guns drawn.
Dang.
That is nuts, man. Yeah, those are weird situations to find yourself in. Doug said, I took my wife to a dentist appointment over by the Franklin County Fairgrounds a couple years ago, and while I was waiting for her in the parking lot, they raided the apartment complex across the street, and I watched the whole thing go down.
Joshua says, a friend and I rented a car and drove to D.C. for a football game. We got there a day early to also tour the Capitol. We parked at the National Mall, and the guards swabbed our car, and it tested positive for nitrates.
Oh!
3 swabs later, they figured out it was just the salt from the road, but that was exciting, them thinking that our car was a bomb. Wow.
That was exciting. Carter said, when I was living in Memphis, the house 2 doors down had a hostage situation. Whole SWAT team showed up, helicopter landed in our neighborhood, and about 30 cops were pointing guns at the house.
Woo!
That's freaky, man. That is just bizarre when it's in your neighborhood like that. My gosh.
Angie says ex-boyfriend had a gun pulled on him from my neighbor who actually shot at him and only missed him by maybe 6 inches.
Oh,
Cops
wow.
came, guns drawn, pointed at the neighbor's house, telling them to come out with hands up. He was arrested and served just 10 days.
Oh, my God. 10 days?
Dang, and then your neighbors again?
You shoot at a person and they're out in 10 days? And then you're living across from? Oh, my God. No way. No way.
Yeah.
Natasha said the person who got had the police drawing their guns on their house in my neighborhood. She said, I heard they were growing weed and were a Michigan fan. Obviously, joke. So, all right, well, yeah, it was unusual for our neighborhood.
Very much,
but,
wow.
But I was able to go and get my hair.
Yeah, you got a fancy haircut out of it. So.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
Intel announced this morning that CEO Pat Gelsinger is retired from the chip maker effective yesterday. The company has named CFO David Zinsser and Senior Executive Michelle Johnston Holthouse as interim co-chief executive officers while it searches for a new CEO. Now, Gelsinger was in charge when the company announced it would invest $20 billion, now estimated to be $28 billion, to build 2 chip-making plants just outside Johnstown in Licking County. The project has been delayed as the company has faced some decent financial struggles recently. And I guess it's the news came out that Gelsinger retired. Shares of the company rose about 3% in pre-market trading. Interesting. President Biden is pardoning his son Hunter. Biden said in a statement last night that it's obvious that Hunter was a political target, singled out only because he's, quote, my son. And the convictions are a miscarriage of justice. The pardon spares Hunter Biden prison time for convictions on federal gun and tax charges. On Truth Social, President-elect Trump posted something to the tune of, if we're pardoning political targets, does that include all those in jail over January 6th? He says that is a miscarriage of justice. So in a little back and forth there over this pardon that President Biden swore he would not do, but has done.
Because nobody's above the law.
I mean, listen, it's your son.
I would do it. I would pardon my son.
Yeah.
I would.
You can't fault the guy for using his powers as the president of the United States to help out his son when he really felt like it was a miscarriage of justice, which, you know.
And I would say to the public, I know it's wrong. I know. And I know I've said I wouldn't do it. And I know I have said for 2 years that nobody's above the law, but I'm doing it because he's my son. I would say that, and I would do it.
We're here in, where do they have Thanksgiving? Not
Nantucket.
Nantucket. Eating dinner with Hunter.
You're free, son.
Buddy.
Nothing to worry about, man.
Guess what, pal?
I got you.
Sunday night, the news is coming out.
I got your back.
Let's celebrate with a big old piece of pie. All right. Ashtabula County, Northeast Ohio, is buried in snow, 39 inches of snow.
Jeez.
And more is on the way. Starting today, that whole area could see another 18 inches of lake effect snow. There's a warning stretching from Cuyahoga County, the eastern part of Cuyahoga County, all the way up through Geauga Lake and Ashtabula counties. Now, they're under a level 3 snow emergency, meaning that all roads are closed in Ashtabula County except for absolute emergencies and government vehicles. The interesting thing is, I mean, obviously, you know, we really never get that kind of snow here in central Ohio. I mean, we're not on Lake Erie, but I'm watching snow trails right now making snow.
Oh, yeah.
You can see the live cam because the temperature's perfect for snow making right now. And they usually open, I think about mid-December, but they're hoping to go early this year because the temperatures are so cold. It's like primo snow making. So you can watch, they have live cams and things, and you can watch the snow being blown over the runs and everything. So it's super cool and exciting. And so that's what's happening in our neck of the woods in terms of snow. We're making our own here, but they have more to spare in Ashtabula. Those are your 3 things.
That storm was hitting Buffalo last night. That Bills 49ers game was so much fun.
Wild?
It was great, man. I mean, there was so much snow. It was a trip. Bills killed the Niners, but and that's kind of, you know, I mean, the weather forecast isn't changing a whole lot. We're highs in the low 30s. I guess Wednesday we might hit 40 for a high, but lows are going to be in the low 20s all week. So we are well below normal. 22 now, and here's your concert announcement. I'll do it while you're here, Kelly.
Awesome.
AC/DC.
Excellent.
Coming to the USA. And they will be touring with the Pretty Reckless. So the Pretty Reckless will open up for AC/DC up at Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland, where the Browns play football. And that show is Friday, March 28th. Tickets go on sale this Friday at noon at Ticketmaster.com.
Outdoors in March?
I know. It's Cleveland outdoors at the end of March.
Ooh.
So you never know what you're going to get weather-wise.